Hello and welcome to Nikki Faye's channel. Hey. Okay, so two things. Number one, I am turning however old today. Yay! It's my birthday. It's my birthday. That over there, I don't know if you can see this, my birthday cake. Ow. And I'm in Kenya. Normally I'm somewhere exotic for my birthday. Well, I guess Kenya is exotic. Anyway, so today's my birthday, and also I am launching my YouTube channel, NikkiFayeTheWanderer. Subscribe now. Yes. So I'm so excited. So I'm doing this today on my birthday because I'm not traveling, but I think it's important to share my story about, number one, how I started traveling, but also how I'm able to maintain the lifestyle of full-time travel, because I know lots of you want to leave that job today, and I'm going to show you how. So just sit back, tune in, and enjoy the ride. Today I just want to share my story. As we continue, I'll be sharing more about how I'm able to travel full-time and how I'm able to afford it and still pay my bills. But I want to share that with you because everyone who's interested in this lifestyle can do it, and I'm here to show you how. So let's get started. So I want to jump right into my story today. So I want to basically tell you how I started traveling. So about 4 years, my mother passed away, and I needed to get away. Like, I needed to be away from the entire world. Now, granted, when I traveled, I was still in the world. But I needed to get away and just have some me time, figure my mind out, process things. And on this journey, I discovered my freedom, my new lifestyle, my joy, my love, and that's travel. So buckle up because I'm about to tell you my story. All right. So I started traveling about 4 years ago. So the first time I went for a 3-month sabbatical, just to sort my life out and figure out, where I fit in this new landscape of life. So on the 3 months, I basically traveled around. I went to Colombia and traveled around Colombia, Medellin, Cartagena, Santa Marta, many other cities, a lot of very small cities. A lot of times I just spent on the beach in a hammock. But I spent that time traveling around and just, being one with my thoughts and, what they call Eat, Pray, Love. Actually, I just watched that movie the other day for the first time, believe it or not. But yeah, basically I was Eat, Pray, Loving, which was a really good time for me to just regroup. And when I got back from the 3-month sabbatical, I just wasn't ready. So I left again for another 3 months and went back to Colombia. But this time I settled in. I was actually going to settle in Cartagena, but it was just too hot for me. So I left and went to Medellin, which changed my life. It was literally life transforming. So it's so funny, when I was there, I met so many people. They were all expats, what they call people who move from their country and go to another country. But there are so many expats there. And I started to talk to each and every one of them because I'm like, how do you do this? How are you able to travel full time? Like, how are you able to not be in the country and, do the things we do in the country, like work every day, pay our bills, insurance, car note, all these things? Like, how are you able to live without these things? Health insurance. So I started to, sit down with all these people. Let me buy you lunch, let me buy you breakfast, whatever I can do to get these secrets. Because to me, it was very valuable. So I'm like, it's worth my money. Whatever I need to pay to get it, let me get it. So I talked to so many people, and I just was constantly writing notes because I had to know, what these secrets were. And once I actually talked to them, I was like, it's not really a big secret. It's just an untapped in world. So what I decided is that this was it for me. I wanted to live this life. So I didn't want to just be on vacation or sabbatical or just traveling. I wanted to be in this lifestyle, fully immersed, because in this lifestyle, I felt free. Like, for the first time, like, I really felt free. Like, nothing tied me down. I didn't have to ask for permission for this, for that, for the other. Can I take time off work? No, because of business needs. None of that. I just wanted to be free. So I decided at that moment, and that I was on the plane on the way back to LA. I decided in that moment, I was like, I will be back, and I'm coming back for good this time. So when I got home, I basically put together a plan. I needed like some step by step. Now, I'm not a very organized kind of person. Trust me. Ask anybody who knows me. I'm not. But for this, I needed to cover all my bases. This was huge. Like, I'm leaving the country. I'm leaving my job. I'm leaving everything I know and love. So I needed to have a strategy. So I bought a planner, but it wasn't really sufficient for my needs. So I created one. So I created this very detailed planner. And I'll tell you more about that later. And yeah, we'll talk about that later. But I created this planner and I went to work. And when I say went to work, I mean I went to work. So, I was working like 5-6 jobs. I was working my full-time job. I was driving Uber. I was being a secret shopper. I was teaching online. I was being an online sales agent. Like, all these things, like whatever I could do to make money, I was doing. I put a tag on everything I owned and I sold everything I owned. So in the span of 5 months, I saved up a good chunk of money, not a huge chunk of money, but a good chunk of money. And I was able to get my journey started. So that day, basically, when I got back off the plane, I bought another ticket out. So I bought another ticket to Colombia because that's where I wanted to be. Because I felt like that's where I had my great awakening in my life and started my freedom journey, is what I call it. So I wanted to go back to Colombia. So after my 5 months, I sold everything. And when you live in LA, you sell your car, honey, you gone. And you got out of that apartment that you paying that cheap rent for. Oh, you are gone, honey. You are not coming back. So got rid of those things that I didn't need everything. And I realized I don't need a bunch of things. One thing that was something that really woke up in me, when my mom passed away, is that when she left, she didn't take any of her things. Nothing. She left it all. And I was like, you know what? All these things that we, accumulate over the years and we keep in our space and, we think are so valuable. When we leave this world, you can't even take it, So for me, I stopped valuing things. So even my Lexus, I love the Lexus chair. Took me forever to get it, but I finally got it. I loved it. It was gone too. And none of those things matter to me. Well, I still don't. I just, don't care about things. I value my freedom. And that's why I'm sharing this freedom journey with you. So I went to Colombia, and even in Colombia, I was working still at least 2 jobs. I was still teaching, and I was also working in my sales job. So what I'll tell you about me is that, I'm not, I don't like to be, whether it's in one country or the other, I don't want to be in 4 walls, stuck, So very quickly I got fired from those jobs. But I think it was that definitely didn't happen to me. It happened for me, because in that is where I figured out, number one, how I could live without that sort of 9-to-5 job, and even when abroad. And I also figured out ways to be entrepreneurial. So that's how I started this journey. I started becoming an entrepreneur, but probably about 3 months in, I started my entrepreneurship journey, and it's been such an amazing journey. I want to share all of that with you, but I want to give you this step by step. I know it's a lot of information to take in. I actually talk about a lot of this in my course. I have a course called Travelpreneur Academy, where I walk you step by step into how I started this journey. But so this is very different from what's in the course, but I still want to just share with you my story. So this version of it is just mainly stories, and then the course version of it is step by step what I did and how you can do it too. But I think it's important for me, storytelling is it's life for me. Even in my job, I was involved in storytelling. As a lot of you know, I worked in entertainment for about 15 years. Well, actually more than that. But I don't want to tell you any more years because, I want to show my age. Today is my birthday. But, there's, it was a long journey. I worked in music at one point. I worked in television at another, and film at another point in my life. Finished my career working in television. And I learned a lot about story. I really did. And story is really important. It's especially important to me. Because it's through stories that got me through and got me to the point where I am now. So I just want to share with you my story about this lifestyle of traveling full time. And right now I'm in Kenya. I was supposed to be in Seychelles right now for my birthday because you guys know I go somewhere exotic every year for my birthday. But this year wasn't possible. But I'm in Kenya, and I guess Kenya is still exotic, so I guess I'm not too far off the mark. I was thinking about calling that Giraffe Manor because I know no one's there at this point, so because we're all stuck in the house for coronavirus. But yeah, so. But anyway, so this is the start of my story to how I started traveling full time. Please subscribe to my channel and tune in because I'm giving you all the details. All right, guys, it's Nikki Faye the Wanderer. Thank you so much for joining me for today, and I will talk to you guys soon.